Okay, so tonight's homework is on textual support. So this is video 3.4, so unit 3, video 4. And basically for this proficiency, you're going to be asked to infer the theme of the story, but you're also going to be able to have to provide textual support to back up your idea on theme. So basically we're going to talk about what is textual support and how can you use it to get a better grade on this next test. Alright, so first up, what are the goals of this proficiency? Well, you need to be able to explain the theme of whatever the short story is that we're looking at, and you're going to have to refer to details and examples from the text to back up what you're saying. So how can you find information to support what that theme is, and how do you draw inferences from the text to determine that theme? You're going to have to refer back to your what is inferring notes if you can't remember how to infer. Alright, so explicit writing. Explicit writing basically means that the text is fully and clearly explained. You can put your finger on a spot in the text and understand black and white right there. There's the answer right away. So for example, if I had a student ask me, can I get a pass to my next class? Mrs. Carter always wants us to have a pass if we are tardy. What you're seeing explicitly is that I like students to have passes when they are tardy to class. You can see that. You can literally put your finger on the screen and see where it says that in the text. Now, the next part, though, is to look for the implicit, or to be able to infer. So that part here is saying, you know, Mrs. Carter has asked for passes in the past, and this student doesn't want to be marked for a tardy. So you can read between the lines. It doesn't say that right there in the text, but you can understand or infer or get deeper meaning from what is there on the screen by looking for what is implicitly stated or inferring. So explicit versus implicit. Implicit is the unspoken, hidden, or inferred ideas from a text. It's the opposite of explicit. The purpose of being able to find explicit and implicit meaning in writing is to be able to present an idea or opinion about some problem or question. And then to help prove your point, you need to be able to provide an example or textual support from the stories. So explicit messages are clear and can be seen immediately. But implicit messages are less obvious. They're more hidden, so you need to infer. So how do you find textual evidence? Well, the first step is to read closely with attention. Reading closely can reveal if the author is stating something implicitly or explicitly. Take notes or do different activities that your teacher might provide you to force you to look closer at the reading. We've been practicing all year so far how to highlight and annotate a text. Use those skills all the time. During the career project, you researched and included facts in your writing. This idea of using textual evidence is really similar to that. You're just going to use quotes from a story instead of facts and statistics. And you're using quotes as your evidence to support what you're writing, not as a means to summarize the text, but just to support what it is that you're saying. So you're going to try to use citation on these quotes, and I'm helping you in class figure out how to do that. So how do you move from just being proficient to mastery? Well, first you need to be able to ask a question, what is the theme of the text? And hopefully you can answer that. You need that basic to be proficient. And this is where you analyze the text and give me your inferred idea on what theme is. Now, in order to get to mastery or to get an A on this test, you need to be able to use a quote to support what you're saying. So the quote is going to be from the text and show that your theme is correct. So you have to be able to support what it is you're saying. Now, here are some ideas on how you can include or introduce some support within your text, because based on what I read, for instance, the author stated, according to the text, from the reading I know that, or two different sources told me, blah, blah, blah. Please write down your top 3 favorite starters. You don't have to write down all of these. Now, you don't have to include these necessarily to start your quote or to start your textual citation. If you're going to introduce it in some other way by using some of your jot dots from the test, that will also work. But I just thought I'd give you some examples on how to include a quote or a textual support if you don't already know some ideas. All right, you're finished for tonight. I know our homework for tomorrow is a little bit longer, so this one's nice and short and sweet. Please don't forget to do the digital whisk down at the bottom. Just scroll your fingers down a little bit, fill out that part. A lot of you are forgetting to put your last name first, so please read the questions and answer them properly. Otherwise, you're completely throwing off my spreadsheet, and that frustrates me. So read the questions, fill it out appropriately, and then go ahead and rate this tutorial if you found it helpful. And I will see you in class tomorrow. Thanks, guys.